Okay, I'm on like my last piece of sheet metal. When I put this quarter panel on, see if it'll focus. I don't know what, you see that? I had to cut the fender well to for this to be able to push over for it. It wouldn't go over, so now I got to patch that in. I have it patched to about here. But this is about drill bits. So I've been drilling holes in here. Now I got to drill through to this new piece I'm putting in. Starting to focus. And so this drill bit's sharp, and I'm sick of buying drill bits. Let's see if I can do a close-up on it. I doubt it. Let's see. Where is it? Trying to find it, sorry. With my hand. I guess that's it. You just can't see it. Well, anyway. So I did a little bit of, I've always sharpened drill bits, but I did some research. So this is looking at a drill bit straight on. You get the primary cut, which is in purple. See if I can focus in a little bit more. Then you have a secondary cut, which is sloped away. And then you have the cutting edge. That's what does the cutting right there. And then most of us know about the 59 degrees. There's a drill gauge, which I don't have. I used to have one. And by the way, this angle, the reason they have these degrees on here is once you get it cut to the, it's actually 30 degrees, half of 59, but once you get it cut, these measurements should be the same. And it should be parallel. So the primary cut is, well, let me see if I can find a better picture. Again, here's the drill gauge. Should be 120 degrees. So here is a better picture. Here's the primary cut. Then you do a relief cut. You want this to slope away. And then right here is let's see, what is it called? It's called a web. So let me see. Going back to this picture here, here's a full web. So when you push down on the metal, you're touching on that. However, if you do a cut, you cut the web down. Notice it's not that long a line anymore like it is up here. So that's the point. The smaller you can get that point, the more it won't move around, and it'll cut all the way to there. And then here's another interesting thing. If you don't have one of these drill gauges that I was showing here, you can take two nuts. This is a 6-sided nut, and if you divide 360 by 6, you get 60 degrees. Again, I'll have to explain that when I get my grinder out. It's 60, but it's 30, but it's 60. So that is the correct angle. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. I mean, like I said in a million other videos, or not a million, in other videos, you just keep buying tools. and then sometimes you can't even find them or somebody borrowed them. So I'm going to set up and I'm going to show how to grind this. Okay, well, I just had to add this part. I moved here a year and a half ago, and this is my go-to grinder for drill bits, and I used to have a lathe for cutting bits, but you know, I sprayed it with WD-40, but it's all dirty, so I'm just cleaning it up. Anyway, I'll get back to you. I'm going to clean it up and put some oil on it. You know, as I started cleaning it up, it reminded me of something that from my construction days. Like I said, it's been sitting. Look at all that junk on there. It's just caked. But this is an orbital sander, so when it spins, you can actually stop it. But what I wanted to show you is an eraser. That's what we use on a belt sander. They already put it on there. See all that junk that came off? But if you're doing wood without all this oil on there, anyway, if you work with wood and you want to clean and it keeps getting plugged up, that's what you use. It doesn't work good with grease. Look at that. It's just lucky I put on oil. And I was remodeling, as I was working on this car in the shop, and this thing got caked with junk. Okay, I got it cleaned up. So I'm just going to spray some WD-40 on there. Just spray it all over the place. Get some surface rust here. You know, I bought this, I don't know, a long time ago. But I noticed, I think I remember there used to be, you could put something that would drip oil, because it's got like an oil pan down here. I can't even remember what was there. So I'm just going to clean this up. Just let the oil that goes into the pores stay there. Now, one more thing I'm going to do is, see, if you notice, you can shine the light and you can see, but on this side, the point is I cut this back. You know, maybe, you know, it's good for safety, but bad for seeing, especially in a shop. I'm getting old, so I'm going to cut this back. And somewhere around here I got a square that fits in here. Have to find that too, that slides in here. Okay, so I got it cleaned up. I found this piece. Don't know if I ever use it. But I made a piece of paper with 30-degree marks. It's actually supposed to be a 29, but 30 is close enough. So the point is that when you sharpen this drill, you should be on that angle. Just cut this thing off. And by the way, I got my 30 degree with an old carpenter tool. You just butt that up against it, and then you read this edge. So that's 30. So I just laid a piece of paper and did that. Yeah, when we used to cut roofs and stairs and all these weird angles, that was the, I don't know when that came out, in the 70s, late 70s or 80s. That's a handy tool. So anyway, I haven't cut this back yet, but this is offbeat. I'm still working on the car. I just don't want to buy any more drill bits. So coming off this table, which I'm pretty sure is pretty square enough, this will give me at least a point. I'll probably scribe a mark on there, but this will give me a point to sharpen this drill bit. So going back to what I was talking about earlier, need some room here. I grabbed a big drill bit. So the primary cut, you want to be at 30 degrees and you want to be level with this table, with the floor. So I'm going to grind it 30 degrees until it looks like that on both sides. You just flip it. And then I'll do a secondary cut, which is basically falling away. So after you get those cuts, you're going to tilt it to cut away from here, because that doesn't do any cutting. You want to get room for all the chips and garbage to come out. And the thickness here is basically the thickness of the profile of how they cut your drill bit in the first place. But when we're done, we'll look at that. So primary cut, 30 degrees, level. And you want to be equal. In other words, that wants to be equal with that. And if I cut it right, it'll be 120 degrees, but it's going to end up being. Like I said, I could weld two nuts together. And there's one more view. There's the primary cut, the secondary cut falling away. And that's the chisel point. That's the point that right in the center is the point that, if you look at this one, it's pretty small. You need a really big drill bit to be able to see that. So I'm going to scribe that both sides, so I have it forever. I thought I did it once, but I guess I didn't. Cut this so I can swing the light, because that's a shadow. Unless they pull it way over, I don't want to do that. Again, I'm retired. I got plenty of time. This is what I felt like doing today. Okay. So I scribed some marks on here. So the first cut, I can't zoom all the way in, but the first cut, hold it 30 degrees, level. If you're not sure, just get a new drill bit and look how it looks. They don't have the secondary cut on it. And here's the two nuts I was talking about. If the angle's right, it'll hit right in the center and it'll line up on both sides. So I already sharpened it once. Let me do it again. I'm gonna hold it level, 30 degrees. Same thing, the other side. So they look equal. This is spinning that way. So let's try it without the back cut. Trying to get the camera to go down. Damn it. You know, getting old, I used to be able to, I can hardly see the tip. I need like a magnifying glass down here now. But I cut this off, now I can get the light. No back cut. Problem with the camera, you gotta tighten up this lever. New hole. I can't really do the back cut because I can't see it. But that's how you do it. Now back to what I was doing. Oh, and by the way, this guy that sold me this other extra car. Hang on, let me flip this viewfinder. Just came over. He's got a GTO clone. And you see that blower motor there? Well, let me go over there. Anyway, he asked me if he could take the one out of this parts car. It's different than it's a 74, but it's different than the one in the 76, and I'll show you why. sell a car. You can see it's broken. But on the 76, this fan blower part is about a 3/4 inch deeper. Looking into classic, I don't know if you can hear me. I'll say it again. I don't know how good this microphone is. The 76 blower is deeper than the 74. I got a copy of Classics. I don't know if you can see this. You can kind of tell there's two different. Anyway, it says 66 to 67. Should be the same. What is a Firebird Trans Am? It might be different on a GTO. Actually, what it says is replacement blower motor fan, which is used for all 67 to 02 Firebird models with factory air conditioning. So, the air conditioning fan motor, not motor, but fan blades are deeper if you have air conditioning. So I'm going back to welding the inner, well, they call it the outer, but it's the inner fender, behind the quarter panel. I'm making some parts to replace this because they're actually, it sits up in there like, let's see, it sits up in there like this. But when I had to cut it out, but now I need a deeper piece. So there was a parts place down the street, and I went out and bought a inner fender for 60 bucks. I think they call it the outer wheel well. The outer wheel well. But it's a little bit different, so I gotta modify it. That's it.